Well, good evening. I know that the internet's full of experts again, and I'm gonna. This is like I said in a few other videos. This is kind of a series of things. Uh, I think this is part 4 of my series. I'm fixing to go out and slip through the brush, get the wind in my face, and go out there and see if I can see anything. Yeah, you can see there's some deer right there right now. I don't know, maybe you can see them, you can't. There's 4 or 5 deer standing there. This is my girlfriend's stand. It's right here at the house. She likes to sit here and take pictures of them and stuff like that. I want to address something, um, and it's a little bit of a soapbox, but it actually might help somebody with their shooting and their shooting mechanics and whatever else. Um, I got a message from somebody that said, and they saw one of my other videos, and they said something about, well, you're plucking the string. That's not the way to do that. I've tried to start making these videos to eliminate variables. Okay, your bow weight, tuning your arrows, and I know that I've been very broad about most of these things during these videos, but I can, there's 1,000 videos that could be made about each one of these topics I'm talking about, but I want to talk about uh, the release. Since this fella, or I don't know if it was a man or woman or whatever, since they decided to comment about my release, because I shot a couple of arrows in a video, and they went, "Oh my God, you're plucking a string. You just never hit anything you're looking at." Well, okay. Here's the my version or my opinion, and it's strictly my opinion. There is nothing written in stone about what I'm doing is right or wrong or whatever. But here's my opinion about what this person said. They said, well, you're plucking a string, you're never going to be accurate, you're never going to be consistent, and so on and so forth. Well, just a statement to that. Well, you can go check my freezer if you want to. And the head's on the walls, and then you can make up your own mind if I'm plucking the string or not. Now, enough of that. Whenever someone is critiquing your shooting, and they say something like, you're plucking the string, or you're collapsing, or your elbow's too high, or your anchor point is not right, or whatever. Well, to that, and there could be 100 videos made about each one of those things that I just mentioned. To that, I say, to the beginners, every single one of those things, plucking the string and collapsing and so on and so forth, is most certainly characterized by the person making the comment by their own experience. Okay, they heard the terminology and they're repeating something that they heard before. Plucking the string to me might mean something different from the other guy that's standing right over beside me. That his version of what plucking the string is. Okay, just to try to bring this into a focus and eliminate the variables. Okay, you have if you're interested in archery at all, or you've been hunting with longbows and recurves and all that kind of stuff, I'm certain that there's a bunch of names that come to mind. There's G. Fred Asbell. There's Saxton Pope and Art Young. There's Howard Hill, John Schultz, John Strunk, all these people, Glenn St. Charles, Fred Bear, all these obvious names. There's several of them. There's a bunch of them, and just tons and tons of them out there. They all shot longbows and recurves. The single most thing that they all had in common about their release, or because they all had their own version of it. The only single thing that's common amongst all of it, Byron Ferguson is one of them. All these archers that have been on TV and everything else. The one thing that is common amongst all of them is they did it their own way. Now, excluding Howard Hill and Schultz, because Schultz learned from Howard Hill, so he did it the way Howard Hill told him how to do it. But these people, like John Schultz, he literally was shooting aspirin out of the air. So could Byron Ferguson. Do they shoot the same? No. It's a variation of something, but they don't shoot exactly the same. They don't release exactly the same. Keep in mind, and you can look it up on YouTube yourself, make up your own mind, but there's Longbow world champions on YouTube. Some of them are in slow motion. One of them, he's got this real, controlled release, and when he releases, his hand never leaves. He just kind of lets go, or he stops holding on to the string. Okay, Howard Hill was an advocate of that, and he taught that to Mr. Schultz and everything else, and it worked awesome for him. Byron Ferguson, kind of similar to that or whatever. Then you look at another world champion. There is literally a video of him whenever he pulls the bow back and he shoots at the target, his hand literally flies up in the air like this. It's like it's limp, like he's got a limp wrist, and it just flies out of the way. All right? Like I'm saying, the common thread is, of all of these shooters, none of them are exactly alike. Okay? So, the message I'm trying to say, in eliminating the variables, you find what works best for you. Whether you're shooting 3 fingers under, whether you're shooting split finger or Mediterranean grip, or whatever you want to shoot, or how you want to shoot, whatever's most comfortable for you, you have to develop something that you can do consistently without a lot of variations. I had a conversation with a guy just a couple of weeks ago. I would challenge a large percentage of the bow hunters, okay, to stand over a chronograph, which I don't do. I don't do that. I don't have a chronograph. I don't know what I mean, but I would challenge them to stand over a chronograph and duplicate their arrow speed, 10 times in a row. I'm certain that out there somewhere that there is a IBO world champion longbow shooter or recurve or whatever that can do that. That's why they're the IBO world champion. If you're a beginner and just an average everyday bow hunter or whatever, that's a pretty tough accomplishment right there. To do the exact same thing every single time. I mean, hell, the weather, the sun, the rain, the wind's blowing, there's a big animal standing in front of you or whatever, it's going to make you, it's going to, all these variables that are going to come into effect, and it's going to be very difficult to do exactly what you were doing when you were standing in your backyard at the house before you showed up at the ranch, and repeat that process. You can get close, but still going to be a little bit different depending on the situation. To people that say that, sorry, I reached up on my phone, went black for a second. People that say stuff like that, I want to apologize in advance, but I don't think necessarily you know what you're talking about. Either you don't have enough experience doing it, or you've been misled at some point. So before you make comments like that, you may want to research the things that you're saying, and go back and look at some of this stuff. Thank you very much.